Let's talk about unemployment numbers in Portugal, and specifically the manipulation of data in regards to unemployment numbers. In Portugal, unemployment now sits a little bit above 6%. However, between 2011 and 2015, when we were under the financial adjustment program after the Socialist Party nearly bankrupted this country for the third time, unemployment rose to nearly 17% in 2013. However, we have to take all these numbers with a large grain of salt. Why? Because they are being manipulated. And they are being manipulated by the state, by the government. What happens in Portugal, and this you will not find in any link, obviously. There is absolutely no way to talk about this unless the media reports about it. But the media is completely controlled by the left, and so you will find very scarce information about this. And only unemployed people will actually know about this. I was unemployed for 5 months, and I was exposed to this harsh reality. The reality that these numbers are being manipulated for the purpose of propaganda and the leftist narrative. So first, a little bit of context. In Portugal, everyone that is working for someone else will pay 11% of their wage to Social Security. This 11% will supposedly be useful to pay, among other things, unemployment subsidies. However, if you find yourself in an unemployment situation, you are not directly eligible for an unemployment subsidy, because the company that fired you has to provide all the necessary documentation to prove that you are eligible for unemployment subsidy, and you yourself also have to sign up to the Employment Institute, which in Portugal is the IEFP, Instituto de Emprego e Formação Profissional. So, when you sign up to the Employment Institute, they will tell you that you have to pick some sort of training. Why? Because if you don't pick any training, you will not receive the unemployment subsidy. And obviously everyone will pick some sort of training. The training is, for the most part, quite useless. You will not get anything of interest from that training. However, you are forced to do so because when you are in training, you will no longer be part of the statistic of the unemployed. And that's exactly the strategy that the state, the government, and not just the socialists, everyone that is in government in Portugal, even though, as I explained many times, we basically only have socialists in government for 45 years. It's either the left or the center-left in government, and the policies are practically the same. Some of them apply direct socialism, others apply a more moderate version of socialism, such as the Social Democrats, but it is socialism anyway. So they all take advantage of this strategy, and I'm saying strategy with air quotes, to manipulate the data of unemployment. Whenever someone is unemployed, then they sign up to the Institute of Employment, which you have to in order to be eligible to receive the unemployment subsidy, among other things, like, for example, having discounted from your salary for at least 6 months to Social Security. But as soon as you are signed up to the Employment Institute and you also are eligible to receive your subsidy, you will not receive it. You will also need to get that training. You will also need to pick some sort of class to go for who knows how many months in order to actually receive your unemployment subsidy. Even though you have discounted for years, which was my case, for example. I was unemployed for 5 months, and I was fired after working for 8 years in a company, for which I discounted 11% every single month. Yet, when I went to the Employment Institute, I would only start receiving my unemployment subsidy if I picked some sort of class, some sort of training, at which point I would be removed from the statistic of unemployment. So even though I was unemployed, while I was taking those courses, that training that I was forced to pick, I was not counted as someone that was unemployed in Portugal. So that's the scheme, that's the strategy, in quotes, that the Portuguese governments have used to more or less manipulate the data of unemployment. So every single number that you see in Portugal is actually a big lie, because we actually don't know the reality. We don't really know the exact numbers of unemployed people, because all of this data is completely manipulated. It's impossible to know. Anyway, I hope you like this, and I'll see you next time.